We're going to talk today about one of the most controversial concepts that I ever talk to people about, and that is early spay and neuter, or spaying and neutering in general. First thing I want to tell you is that if you've been around dogs long enough, there used to be the whole idea, and this mostly came from the Humane Society of the United States and from SPCA and areas like that, where they deal with a lot of unwanted dogs, or they see people being irresponsible and letting dogs get pregnant, letting their males wander who are not neutered, and things like that. First of all, I'm going to assume that you are a responsible pet owner. Okay, so we're going to go from there. If you can be a responsible pet owner, your dog will actually benefit from some of the information that I'm going to give you about the latest research. This is research, it's not new. Breeders have known this information for the last 15 years and have been educating our clients. Veterinarians have known it, but they've not been giving this information to people for lots of different reasons. And I don't want to make enemies, I don't want to make assumptions. If any veterinarians are listening, please don't get offended by this, because every veterinarian's different, just like every breeder's different, and every person's different. First of all, one of the things we know as breeders is that the dog's structure and the joints, the growth plates, are not done growing until 24 months old. And we always do clearances with the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals, also known as the OFA, and they won't even let us have a final rating on their hips and elbows until they're 24 months, because they know that that is not done growing yet. So if you go in and you take away the hormones that your dog has, it's almost like imagining an 11-year-old boy, 10-year-old boy, going and castrating him and thinking about the repercussions of that. He's never gonna grow. His voice is gonna stay small. He's probably not gonna grow any body hair. There's gonna be a lot of effects on that dog. Ask any woman that's had a hysterectomy. You'll read about the horrors of hysterectomy, especially the women who were giving birth years ago. My mother-in-law is one that woke up having had her ovaries and her uterus removed without knowing it ahead of time, and dealing with terrible migraines and depression and all kinds of issues from having her hormones taken away. So that's something that we talk about amongst women all the time. Men don't talk about it as much, but men are strangely against neutering their boys, I think, for a lot of reasons. But some of these reasons are just a little more scientific that I'm sharing. They're not emotional reasons at all. And the worst reason you could spay or neuter is your dog is just for your own convenience. Your dog's health should be your convenience. And that means you give your dog's body the ability to complete its growing before you take away its hormones. Now I'm going to say this, I've never spayed or neutered a dog in 20 years except in 3 situations. I've never had a case of breast cancer except for once. I've never had testicular cancer. I've never had any of the things that are given as a scare tactics to be spaying or neutering your dog as early as possible, besides the idea of unwanted puppies and kittens that you'll hear, which is an indoctrination that veterinarians get right in vet school from PETA and HSUS, who throw parties and try to really indoctrinate some of these new students and look for ones that are going to be some of their followers with this kind of stuff. Now, when I share this with clients, a lot of times they will share, well, they are required to share this scientific information with their vet and have their vet sign something that says they've read the most recent research. A lot of the older vets maybe just haven't come around yet. The new vets coming into vet school are going to be all over this. They know this. But the other thing that people don't realize is it's a big business early in spaying and neutering. And this is why, and this is really scary. And I don't think veterinarians do this purposely, but if you go in and you cut the hormones off and the dog isn't finished growing yet, and you do a spay or neuter, the dog's going to grow a little bit, not to full growth because it doesn't have all its hormones, but it will grow a little bit more. And then what's going to happen is the surgery that they've done, for instance, maybe to a hip or an elbow or something that was injured because you took the hormones away and that joint was not sturdy, if they have to go in and do that surgery, then when the dog's older, they're gonna have to go in and do that surgery again because of the change in that joint. So that means another $4,000 maybe for that first surgery that you wouldn't have had to do if you hadn't cut off the hormones. Maybe another $4,000 later when you have to go back and redo the surgery. So think about those kind of things.